questions we may have. All right?
Rightio, no, that's fine. And I'm just guessing you're Kenton Baxter, but that's only a guess.
No, I'm Bill. Can you not see us?
Oh, Kenton
Well, actually, I'll bring it up. I'll put it on the side here and bring it up a bit large. And no, this is only a handheld, and it's not a terribly good one.
Well, I'm talking. My name's Bill Smith. I'm the chair, and I've got Felicity Foy, who's a councillor, but also the commissioner, and I've got Alan Watson, and I've got Alan Watson.
Yep.
And I've got Alan Watson, who's a commissioner, and Kenton's online is similar to you, listening to everything.
Right. Thank you. Oh, that's cool.
Nice. So where you go?
All right. Well, thank you very much for taking our submission. And I understand there is no intention by the district council to change the plan, but I think it's just worth a reiteration. The concern of the present coalition government to loosen the rules and requirements of in the RMA of GMOs and biotech, as they're sort of lauding it as our great saviour that's actually going to make us very rich as well, and we absolutely disagree with that, and think that we should still be retaining the precautionary principle and seeking liability provisions in the off chance, or perhaps it's a stronger chance, that GMOs are allowed into the wider environment. We're not against it in the laboratory situation or medicine or taken by oneself, but don't want any chance of loosening into the environment for potential contamination by any vectors, which is we know is what we arrived at. But one of the that would have been said, okay, well that's that long ago, that's however many years ago, and we say, well, things haven't changed, and they say, well, they have. We're getting a lot more refined in biotech. We've got this magnificent gene therapy, CRISPR technology, and gene editing, which gives us substantial equivalence. And they're saying if it's substantive equivalence, then it's they're getting to an Orwellian newspeak of new breeding techniques, NBT. Well, it's not breeding. It is, all of them are genetic modifications to a degree. Gene editing is your genetic modification. And they all have their unintended consequences. So just calling it a new breeding technique can be seen as a whitewash, because the consumer many consumers can be misled by saying, well, it's breeding and so that's fine, and just carry on. It's substantially the same, so it must be the same. And we know that it's a different genetic structure and different genetic makeup. Some consumers may swallow it. We have a very discerning consumer market overseas, which is our high value market, not our commodity market. And it's those to which we should be appealing to. The ones who are prepared to pay $100 a kilogram, not $5 a kilogram. There are 4 countries that probably have about 85% of GMOs. That'd be Brazil, Argentina, United States, and Canada. And they probably produce about 90+% of the GMOs in terms of perhaps Roundup Ready or BT products, BT resistant products. So I do not want us as a country to be joining that commodity race to the bottom in terms of prices, and believe that we should still be keeping GMOs out. I do not want us, by allowing biotech and the wider wrapper with ryegrass, where that ryegrass is going to eventually end up with the speed of the spread of varroa mite, to be contaminating my pasture as either a conventional grower or an organic grower, where our discerning consumer is going to say this is polluted pasture. So we must retain that precautionary principle, And if not that, then if someone is going to profit from new technology, then we must retain liability provisions that if they are prepared to take the risk of compensating everybody that they are a nuisance to or trespass by their behaviour, then give them the profit. But I'm sure that they would balk at that. So that, in a nutshell, is why I'm bringing it to the attention of the council to reaffirm that things haven't changed. The principles are still the same, that we should be keeping a GE-free policy and holding both the precautionary principle and the liability provisions.
Okay.
So that's it. That's my.
All right. So I take it you've read the report from Mr. Baxter.
I am sorry. I'm running in on the hoof, but I do understand that there's not an intention to change things.
No, that's not. Yeah, there's no intention to.
Yeah,
there's no intention to change anything, and we have to base our decision on the expert evidence before us. So I don't think we're hearing any other submissions on GMOs, are we?
No.
No, so we're not.
No, so I guess I'm the expert.
I didn't say that.
Actually, hold on, Mr. Chair, just want to double check.
We do have some.
Farmers might have tabled some. That's
we do have some tabled evidence from federated farmers, but they generally support what's been recommended, although they didn't necessarily agree with the GMOs in the beginning. So that's the only one, but it's the recommendation from the officer to us is basically to approve the report as was circulated, roughly.
Yeah. Can I add a little bit more? In talking about the other potential threats to us, the environmental threats of Kauri dieback, the environmental threats of pest animals, and climate resilience with methane reduction. There are enough tools in the toolbox for those three challenges not to release something that's could be arguably unnecessary, that we can achieve our objectives without having to delve into any magic outcomes. Okay,
all right. Now, just so you're aware, in relation to I'll call it CRISP, CRISPR, there's an abbreviation.
Yes.
Yeah, now, the officer's recommending to us that not be included separately because it's a genetically modified organism anyway. So, all right, so you understand that?
Yeah, yes, CRISPR, gene editing and gene,
okay, all right.
Yep.
Any questions? No, well, if you've got anything else, Miss Grama's not online, is she?
Not that I can see, no. And as I say, I've had trouble trying to get hold of her.
Right. So have we.
So we haven't skilled up to be able to sort of run a Batman and Robinson.
Okay.
But the same thing. This ongoing drive to get extremely rich on AI and biotech is demonstrably false. Well, back in 2019, there were polled genetic breeding. Well, I shouldn't say breeding, should I? Genetic modification of animals for self-polling, so they didn't have horns. Well, we already had that in nature, but two, it turned out that there was antibiotic resistance. So even on this wonderful technology only 5 years ago, they still trip themselves up. So in saying we've got it now, they haven't.
Okay. Thank you very much for your presentation. I think Miss Grama's there now, is she? Are you there, Miss Grama? Otherwise, what will happen is if you want, Miss Grama wants a copy of the recording of what you said, we'll send it to you, okay?
That's excellent. Okay, thank you very much for your listening.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good one.
Thank you, Martin.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Bye.